Thanks for joining me. I just got the fire going, that's why you can still see my breath. We're supposed to drop down to minus 50 wind chill tonight. It'll be the coldest I ever stayed at the cabin. They're calling for minus 45 in town, so it's definitely going to be colder than minus 50 out here. My goal on this trip is to cut firewood and not die. Don't let that sun fool you, it's still bloody cold. Before I left, I put one piece of firewood in the wood stove and dialed it down. This way I'm not burning up firewood when I'm not here. I think I was gone for about 2 or 3 hours. And a lot of people think that because it's this cold, you got to have the wood stove blazing, but that's not the case. I'm in and out of this cabin all day long, and I'm dressed for the weather. This is what's left of a sled I built 3 years ago to bring out some supplies. I don't really need it anymore. So I'm going to take off these plastic runners and put them on my new sled at home. I'm just hoping I can get the screws out. I might actually turn these into skis. So I just finished organizing my storage tent. Stacked all the firewood so I have a better idea where I'm at. And way at the back there you can see my old wood stove. It's already set up. And this storage tent is a backup shelter in case something happens with the cabin. I've had these curtains out here for some time. I think tonight I'm finally going to make some window coverings. Keep out some of that cold air. If I have enough, I'll do the door as well. But the problem is, these windows are so close to the wood stove. I'm kind of worried about them getting too hot to maybe catching on fire. So I might have to put them on the outside. There, so all the windows are covered. Got enough material for the door. And actually, you can feel the difference already. I should have done this a long time ago. Earlier when I was cooking, it got so hot in here I started to sweat. So I'm stripping down to my base layer, hanging up all my clothes to dry. But don't worry, I'll be putting them on before I go to bed. So in order to stay as warm as possible, I have all 4 of my blankets out. One of them is my dad's old wool blanket. It's called a cozy down. It's very thin, but it's warm. And what I did is I put a screw through all 4 blankets into the wall. Otherwise, when I wake up in the morning, it's a big tangled mess. Sometimes they're on the floor. And tonight I need all my blankets to try to stay warm. Right now it's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit in here, which is nice and warm. But I still can feel that cold air trying to get in. I also set my alarm to go off every 2 hours, so hopefully I don't freeze to death. They're all nice and warm and dry. Oh, there won't be any cards tonight. No reading. Just straight to bed. Anybody that knows what it's like to work out in the cold, it's very exhausting. Well, hopefully I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is minus 40 out there right now with a wind chill of at least minus 50. I'm glad I set my alarm for every 2 hours last night, because every time I woke up, I was starting to get chilly. Definitely not as comfortable as I usually am out here. But you have to keep in mind that this is a cabin made out of scrap wood and a homemade wood stove. Everything in here is upcycled except for a couple things. This is probably my last chance to stay at the cabin in minus 40. It's something I wanted to experience, and obviously you're going to go through a lot more firewood this way. But I wanted to try it, see the limitations of this cabin. And I think minus 40 is the limit. It's doable, but I wouldn't want to do this every day. I'm just warming up my socks before I head out for the day. I'm all packed up and ready to go. I'll see you next time.